Right, yeah, it's just me at the moment. So basically, I'm trying to do a true about Thomas Paine, a bit about history, but a very part of our history that influences, let's say, the discourses today. Um, so I'll be going through Common Sense basically by Thomas Paine. So we were in 1776, and it was a brilliant thing. It was distributed around America, right? It influenced the American Revolution. There were lots of anger at the policies of the British government, which were heavy in debt after the Seven Years' War. I briefly talk about the Seven Years' War because it's going to quite relevant. It might probably come up. So, Seven Years' War basically was the European influence of the war between Prussia and there was Britain, fighting like France, Austria, Russia, and with I think only Portugal was on Portugal on I think Portugal actually, and Prussia on our side, which were heavily feminist, the Prussians. And basically, the war was a combination of tensions between Britain, France. Britain abandoned Austria's ally in favour of Prussia because after Prussia successful annexed Silesia of Austria, and Austria wanted to get it back because Austria saw Britain allying itself with Prussia. Austria sided with France and Habsburgs, and France always fought. It's quite changing in political discourse, really. Was very interesting. While Britain completely eradicated the French presence in North America, it was a victory, basically, Britain. Prussia, well, that's no story. It was a victory because the basically permanently consolidated Silesia as a Prussian province. And that's a story for another day. I won't go too much into it, but it left Britain a lot of debt. Basically, Britain said one of the raised taxes for the first time in the American colonies, which was a key antagonist. Things like tea, tobacco. Alright, I won't go too much about because I want to focus on common sense. Right, you can. I've got this a link about the mega revolution. I should put one about last minute. Put a link about the 7 Years' War. It was quite a big conflict. You could call it like a world war in many ways, but it wasn't one. Basically, information power in Europe was involved in some way or another. But you know what, Britain won in the end. There you go. That's something there. So right. So let's go on to I put a link out on the voice chat. If anyone enjoys wants to talk about this with me. Very interested on their take on it. Just a minute or two, I'll bring up the common sense. Right, second now. Right, screen share this. Yeah, entire screen. That should, yeah, that total depth there. So this is it. This is a great document. I found a copy of this. It should be alright. It's a common sense by Thomas Paine, addressed to the inhabitants of America. Man knows no master slave of created heaven, but choose are those who have choice and common good are they. Thompson. It's brilliant quote. Right. So this is my wrote. You can read it. You can read it there. The 40th February 1776. I'll just stay. While I'm here, I'm not going to read. Can't read the comments. Fortunately, actually, because I could check. Yeah, nothing there. So that's the introduction. I'm not going to read the introduction. It's going to be important. So we need to focus on the duty concept here, which is really, really interesting. Right, here we go. Common sense, the origin and design of government in general, concise remarks on the English Constitution. Oh, this is going to be juicy, isn't it? Some writers have confounded the society of government as to leave little or no distinction between them, whereas they are different, we have different origins. Completely right. I completely agree with that. I can't say I won't comment much on that. I completely agree. Right. Next, society is produced by our wants. Now that's key. Now, what do we desire in society? To earn money, to consume products, get food, water, get this iPhone. That's very important in the name of a nature of a society. Let's carry on. Our government by our wickedness. Right. Governments affect human nature. Absolutely true. And this is the thing. We can look at our own government, look at the selfish nations, because a lot of people are very ignorant of what's going on around us. People going to food banks. People are ignorant about it. And it's kind of affecting our government in many ways. Of course, wickedness is one part of human nature. Oh, not that doesn't have to be, but it's a potential part of human nature. As you can see, wickedness, especially abroad, and people get their hands cut off by stone apples in Saudi Arabia. Let's carry on. The former promotes our happiness. Yes and no. That one depends on the circumstance. Positively by uniting our affections, but that's negatively by restraining our vices. Again, this is talking about the nature of society and how government reflects on it, and how people think of these consumerism as a sort of happiness, and it's almost a trap because it's really not. But anyway, first is patron, last is the punisher. That's the key. Right. Okay. Right. Society in every state is a blessing. But look, even if there's negative society, it has in generally improved conditions generation after generation. Yes, it has. But it's also a trap. Right. Let's keep going on. Right. But governments, even its best state, is necessary evil. Absolutely true. The thing is, right, if we have no state anarchy, we have access to bureaucracy to distribute resources, which is then proto government. But it's an necessary evil for now, yes. Certainly. And its worst state, an intolerable one. Yes. Definitely. Right, let's go on. For when we suffer or expose the same miseries by a government, which we might expect in a country without a government. Potential's there. Yep. Let's carry on. Our calamity is heightened by reflecting. We furnish the means which we suffer. Governments like dress, the badge of lost innocence. The palaces of kings are built on ruins about a paradise. Yep, it's more birds from this. Right, let's carry on. Actually, I'll talk about that later on. For where impulses are constant clear, uniform and universally obeyed, man would never need no lawgiver. But that not being the case, he finds it necessary to surrender part of his poverty, the first means of protection of the rest. He is induced to do by the same prudence, which in over every other case advises him, out of two evils, to choose the least, wherefore security, being the true design and end of government. And that's key. That is completely that's completely key about changing the political system. This kind of it's unanswerably follows whatever form thereof appears most likely to show it to us with the least expense of and greatest benefit, preferable to all others. Right. I'm going to check into the extra comments inside. And there's not. Right, it's kind of. So that's a introductory paragraph. It basically describes what military agreement was. Shows 1776. Now, this powerful word was out there. What if you read it? So, we were quite annoyed about taxes and imposed by the British government, even though the colonies meant to be very independent. And many people in the colonies were basically refugees from Europe. What are you going to think when you read this? In order to gain a clear and just idea of design and end of government, let us suppose a small number of persons settled in a sequestered part of Earth, unconnected with the rest. Right, that's basically America at that time, very isolated, but very large. The 13 colonies that rebelled basically had a population smaller than Ireland at the time. Put that perspective. Right. And the land area was moved out of Great Britain. Right? Perspective. And you can see the nature of American society, very rural, and there was small government and class in one of two cities, right? Agrarian, basically. Right. They will represent the first people of any country or the world in a state of natural liberty. Society will be their first thought. 1,000 motives will cite them there too. The strength of one man is unequal to his wants, and his mind is unfitted by perpetual solitude, that be soon obliged to seek assistance and relief of one another. So this is talk about people helping each other, community living, because people have to work together to make a better society. This is what basically was advocating. Again, it's it's very egalitarian and very very borderline Marxist actually. This it's brilliant, really. If you get time to read this one. So anyway, who in turn request the same. There we go. We all help each other in society. 4 or 5 united, we're able to raise a tolerable dwelling in subordinateness. Example of this, brilliant. But one man will live out current period of his life without accomplishing a thing. Seeing that happy we have to work together and not be divided and be apart. Which is a brilliant idea because we are one human race and it should be helping to make a better society. This I could talk about this all day, about ranting about what goes about us, all the suffering in this world. But if it's me talking about it, then what change will I do? But if we're all just going to be human, come together and do it, has together more will be successful. We're individuals, but together at the same time, we also act as one unit, as I said. I'm not talking about some sort of weird hive mind, but talking about working together as individuals. Anyway, let's carry on. Disease. Man, I forgot what we were now. When he had felled his timber, he could not remove it or erect it. After it was removed, hunger in meantime was urging him for his work. Yes, every different one who comes it way, disease may, even misfortune, would be death. But through neither might be moral, but yet either would be disable him from living and reduce him to a state. You what? He said to die. Very interesting. Let's go on to the next page. I feel first already about this reading out. Wait a minute, I'm back. Actually, that's gonna be dry now. Yeah, I gotta drink with that. It's till the wrong thing. Let's check the comment. Right, there's no one commented yet. Right, I'll be back very short. So I'm gonna mute this now. Yeah, till this. Right, I'm back now. I'm back now, finally. Right. Thus necessity, a gravitating power will soon bomb our newly arrived immigrants into society. The reciprocal blessings of which will supersede and render the obligations of law and government unnecessary, while they remain perfectly just to each other. But there's nothing but heaven is impregnable to vice. It will invariably happen that in proportion as they surmount the difficulties of immigration, which will bound them together as a common cause. Right, this is another big thing, because many people in America fled to the United States as pilgrims, basically. Lots of founding fathers were Puritan pilgrims were pretty much oppressed. A lot of people were, society's born in Maryland. Lots of Catholics migrated. Lots of Germans fleeing oppressive governments in the Holy Roman Empire, fled to like Pennsylvania. So our people fled to America because they can find solace and more freedom, even when Britain was in control, but it was very laissez-faire. Before the revolution. And this basically describes when people coming in difficult and want to make a better life. And it's very important to understand how the American Revolution happened. Anyway, Anyways, carry on. Um, oh, is everyone inside? Let's have a look. Right, nobody's there. Hopefully get someone actually to join. Could it be interesting as their take on it actually? Some convenient tree will afford them a state house, only the product of which the whole colony may assemble a deliberate on public matters. But it is more than probable that the first laws will have a title only of regulations. Right? And will be enforced by no other penalty than public disdain. In this first parliament, every man naturally right to have a seat. This is talking about democracy basically. But electing officials, essentially we all have an influence. This is talking about individual suffrage based. What is every man? So it's male suffrage maybe what it means, but talk about democracy here. Very interesting. Do we have republics this time? They're not very democratic, but like Venice. Not will it come that democratic though. But not sure I see. Could we insist on direct democracy like referendum? Most likely not though on that one. But as the colony increases, public concern will increase. Yeah, there's more people, there'll be more problems in society, there's more people generally, and there's going to be more concerns. Of course, yes. And the distance which members may be separated to render it inconvenient for them to meet on every occasion at first. Just talking about basically saying everyone can't meet together needs to be represented. Maybe that's when the number is small, the habitation is near. Public says through traffic because communities when they're smaller, they pretend to be more closer. People go together and everyone come together and solve the problem. Anyway, this will point out convenience of the consent to leave the legislative part of managers to select a number chosen for the whole body. Now, this is talking about officials basically. Right, who's supposed to have the same concern at stake. Those are part of them. Oh, right, we could talk about this all day. We could talk about what's going on in this country right now about that one. Let's name what everyone most dividing subject Brexit. That might be vermin in this one. Oh, where now? Who act in the same manner as the whole body would act if they were present. I'm sure that doesn't happen in Parliament though. I wish it would. But in theory it sort of sounds good, but in practice, not necessarily the case. But anyway, hopefully there's someone's opinion on this one. Hi Rebecca. I see in the side chat. Anyways, I keep losing my am now, so I'm here on. So if the colony continues increasing, it will become necessary to augment the number of representatives that, in the interests of every part of the colony, may be attended to, and will be found best to divide the whole into convenient parts. Each part says proper at the elected proper number, and that elected may never form themselves separate from the electors. Well, that's happened basically. We can name Brexit basically. For example of that one with MPs. I don't agree with anything. In theory, this is good, but in practice, it may not be necessary for perfect basically. Um, yeah, prudence will point the priority of having elections often, because as elected, well, that means the return of Mexican, the general body of elections in a few months. No, it was a few months, right? We don't have elections in every few months. But if we do, that'd be chaotic. But you know what, right? Maybe costly and chaotic, but there will be a lot more accountability for these people in power if you do that. It is possible. And, right, let's carry on. The fealty to the public was occurred. This is essentially it would be that in that system. Be chaotic, but yes, by prudent reflection of not making the rod from themselves. And as the speaking interchange will establish a common interest in every part of the community, they will mutually and naturally support each other on this. Not immediately name the king. Right, the monarchy comes later on to the end of this pamphlet. I'll not mention too much about kings or queens or monarchs yet. Depends on the strength of government and happiness of the governed. And here again, the right of government, namely, a mode rendered necessary by the inability of all virtue to govern the world. Here too is the design and the end of government, viz. Freedom and security. That's key, basically. What people actually want. Security, well, money can go into that because financial security. It's important to a lot of people. Also, and these two things is basically what people want at the end of the day. Because to come to square in your life, you need money. And that, I think, falls into that category. That's basically key, basically. Right. And however, our eyes may be dazzled with sure. Our ears see back. Yeah, this is about Portugal lying to us. The seeing people. Absolutely perfect. Right. How the prejudice may warp our will. This is this brilliant with all this, right? Our interests darken our understanding. The simple voice of nature, of reason will say it is right. I draw this idea of the form of government from a principle in nature which no art can overturn, viz. That's more simple that simple anything is, less liable. That it has to be disordered and easier prepared and when disordered. And with this maximum in view, I offer a few remarks on the so much both the Constitution of England, this gets in now, or mess with the Constitution of England. Yeah, it is the best, right? It was noble, but a dark and slavish times it was erected. Yeah, talk about Magna Carta and serfdom. That's what that's talking about. It is granted when the world was overrun with tyranny. Completely correct. Producer is tyranny. The least reform was a glorious rescue, but it was imperfect, subject to confusions, and incapable of producing what it seems to promise. It's easily demonstrated. Absolute governments, though the disgraces human nature, can absolutely they are, get the pun there, and have this advantage with them in that they are simple, and if the people suffer, and they know the head of which they're suffering springs, likewise to know the remedy, not bewildered by the variety of causes and cures. That's about red giant ideologies which confuse people, not basically solving the problems in society. There's a lot of variety of ideas and ideologies out there. Right. I'm gonna quick chat again. Hello there, the other voice. Alright. So this basically describes everything about the world today. This is why it's so important. This document important to understand democracy, history, maybe the future of this country as well. At the same time, oh right, but but the constitution of England extremely complex, right? Can you name, if actually, what is our constitution? Can you say it? You can't basically. I've got Magna Carta, Parliament. Look, it's basically like a snail. This no, not like a snail. Can't say it. It's um. Trying to think now. Like doing a talent, like every same easy. You put a tie on one thing that's introduced into a law, basically, a constitution, and talents at the end look a big mess with lines and language lines. That's bad analogy for it, but basically it was slowly done over time, not done radically or instantly like in France or America. Right, let's keep going on. That the nation may suffer for years without ever discover which fault lies. Yep, our system, yep, broken beyond that one. We talk about how people are elected and everything. But some will say in one sort or another, every political position will advise a different medicine. Bro, yes. I mean, look at problems what Corbyn said. But look at reflection. This is Tommy Robinson, what he says. All sorts. Really, people thought us Muslim in the 1930s or communists or Atlas or any other will solve problems. That's also true. But if you look at is the facts about everything, what's around us, and then basically come to a conclusion. So this is a problem. This is a massive problem about politics. And way you come around it is literally by education, by actually looking up what's going on around you. And if you don't, will understand the actual cure for your illness, right? I know it's difficult to get over local and outside prejudices. Or else it is still plenty of races about. Not support people like Tommy Robinson, right? Yet, if we will suffer ourselves to examine the component parts of the English constitution, we shall find based on two ancient tyrannies, combined with some republican materials, right? Right, this is important as well. Because at the time, even though we were constitutional monarchy back then, this is after the glorious revolution, right? Yeah. Basically, we were constitutional monarchy back then. Our parliament was supreme at this time. Let's think about that one. Actually had a republic for about a couple of years of the Commonwealth. Right. First remains of the monarchical tyranny, the person of the king. Now, this is not the remnant of this time because the monarchy has little power, but it's still there. The symbol's still there, and it still have a bit of power. Secondly, remains of aristocratical tyranny in person of the peers, House of Lords. We all know about them and what they've been doing lately. Well, that's definitely still there. There's still hereditary peerages in there, House of Lords. Thirdly, the Republican materials, persons of the Commons, on whose virtue depends on the freedom of England. Even though the Kingdom of England didn't exist at this time. We were the Kingdom of Great Britain. Not the United Kingdom, but the Kingdom of Great Britain. That's what we were. The two first being hereditary, but also independent of the people. You don't have the power to get rid of the House of Lords or the Queen of that man if you want to get rid of them. But wherefore, in a constitutional sense, they contribute nothing towards the freedom of the state. Well, yes, absolutely. to say that the Constitution of England is a union of three powers, right? But to call it checking each other is falsifiable. Say that from the House of Lords. It's true though, because if the House of Lords can check legislation, but really, and alter it. Understand this: they are a block to the what the people actually want. Well, it can be our children they want to. Nothing can stop them. Not elected. Right, okay, listen where I am now. To say the Commons is a check upon the king. Well, yeah, the king had a lot of power at this time. Presumes two things. First, the king is not trusted of being looked after. But that's been the case to Magna Carta. In other words, the first of absolute power. It's a natural disease of the monarchy. Um, that's a bit in the middle of that one, but I could just accrue some power, but not maybe not chose someone else. Secondly, the Commons are being appointed for that purpose, either wiser, more worthy of the covenants of the crown. Yeah, that's the purpose of them, even though they don't do a good job. But the same conclusion, which gives the Commons a power check, the king, by withholding the supplies and gives afterwards a king of power check to the Commons. By those whom that's very supposed to be wiser than him. That's very interesting. All people argue that the monarchy is good because they access the information the average person is more intelligent. What's the problem? The problem is, do that use that for our interests? The answer is no. I mean, I can look at the side chart. There's nothing new there. There's something exceedingly ridiculous. Right, I see it somewhere. The same constitution gives the commons power check the king by withholding supplies, but gives afterwards the king a power to check the commons. Because it's about the House of Lords now, right? By empowering him to reject the other bills. The Queen, right, even today, can reject bills. She doesn't do it though. And it supposes that the king is wiser than those who are supposed to be wiser than him. A mere absurdity. Well, yeah, it is. But King decide this today, but yeah. There's something extremely ridiculous in the composition of the monarchy. It first excludes man from the means of information. This empowers him, as in cases where the highest judgment is required. The state of the king shuts him from the world, but yet the business of the king requires him to do it thoroughly, where the supports of a naturally opposing and destroying each other proves their whole character to be absurd and useless. Yeah, basically, king's one person, and one person can run a society by itself. That's basically what it's saying. So obviously, this is one person with all the power. So it can be out touch with a lot of people. Well, you can't know what everyone's thinking. It feels with everybody. And that's the problem with it. You can't trust power in one person. And that, actually, this is the case recently about the discussion about the M&A powers. And you draw about and the concern with that, again, more power to individual ministers. And that was a huge concern of people, and rightfully so. Some writers have explained that in English constitution, thus the king, say there is one, and people another, appears in the house in behalf of the king. Key, that's key. Right. the commons in behalf of the people. That's key as well. But this half sections of a house divided against itself. But expressions personally arranged. Well, until we put their Skinner in there. Yet when examined, they appear idle. I begin. I begin yourself. I can't. I didn't say that personal word. And what always happen. Nice construction of words capable of which apply the construction of something, which either cannot exist or is too incomprehensible to the compass of description, but will be the words of sound only, and through the amuse of the ear, they cannot inform the mind. For this explanation, which includes the previous question, viz. How came the king by power which people are afraid to trust? Always about to check. Well, right. Well, that's also key as well. All the kids at the time in a lot of European societies today, was a compared to king and prime minister. Because what the prime minister has is a royal prerogative, and choose to make and use the royal prerogative. Was to use it in the Syrian airstrikes we had a couple of months ago. The months or weeks now, I can't remember. Bush basically used it to bomb Syria with Trump and Macron. And no one can check on that power. There's no checks on it. What you can do with that power? A massive round parliament, if you remember. So that's the round because if you place king to prime minister, remember, what issue with that shit. You can say people vote for Tories, but you don't want to vote for Theresa May because we vote for a local candidates. Interesting. Interesting, yeah. But don't have a presidential system, so thankfully. Another thing to think about, though. Social power cannot be the gift of wise people. Really now. Neither can any power which needs checking. Oh, here we go. Be from God. Like position. Which Constitution makes proposes a power to exist. Can you hear me right? Yeah, I would. Completely true. Hopefully you can hear me right when reading this out. Right. So this is massive. Look, I'm on page 5 here. It's the first thing again as well. Anyway, but the provision is unequal to task. That means either cannot or will not accomplish the end, and the whole affair is still of the sea. For a greater weight always kept the less. And as the wheels of the machine are put in motion, the word machine is not very used that much in this time period. It'd be interesting to see that word used at this time. Alright, let's carry on. It only remains to know which power of the Constitution has the most weight, and for that will govern the others, or a part of them, may clog, oppose, or check the rapidity. I haven't used that rapidity. I know it means quickly, but I haven't used that rapid use like that anyway. Of its motion. Then, so long as they can stop it, the endeavours will be ineffectual. The first moving power at last will have its way, and what it wants in speed will be supplied in time. Well, exactly, yes. Describing, we could talk about some changes in our constitution, changes in society. What about parliament? We could talk about progress in society. That paragraph, very interesting. But anyway, let's carry on. The crown is an overbearing part of the English constitution. It still is. It still is. The Queen has more. The Queen can call election any time. Actually, she has weird, can dissolve parliament, things like that. You don't hear about it, but she still has it. But if she uses it, she'd be out basically. Needs not to be mentioned. I derives from the whole consequence merely from the griever of places of pensions still evident. Wherefore, though we have been wise enough to shut and lock a door against absolute monarchy, what we have in the English Revolution and the English Civil War, we at the same time be foolish enough to put the crown in possession of the key. Pretty much that's still the case to an extent, but the nature of the comments today, if the Queen tried to do something like dissolve Parliament, she's done for. So we're at times. Right, I finished this and then a bit go about this part here. Then go get a drink and every time I talk like this, this long, I'm very I do. We have to redress. It's quite uncomfortable. Right. The prejudice of the Englishman in favour of their own governments by kings, lords, and commons arises much more than natural pride and reason. Again, why do you think we still want a monarchy? It's natural pride. Nationalism, patriotism. It's a false idea. I suppose a lot of people say the Queen's like a symbol at the top. Symbol of Britishness. But then again, and but the notifications coming up. I don't care. Right. Again, it's banned by the notifications now. You can see that. And again, lost because of notifications. Individuals are undoubtedly safer in England and some other countries. Compared to England was the most Britain, the Kingdom of Great Britain was the most liberal free countries at the time. Compared to like the absolute monarchies of France or Austria or Prussia. Or Russia, Ottoman Empire, Kingdom of Spain or Savoy Piedmont or some other countries you've probably never heard of. Kingdom of Sweden, Persia, right. Individuals and so, yep. But the will of the king, as in the law and land in Britain, as in France, with this difference, instead of proceeding directly from his mouth, is handed to the people under the more formidable shape of an act in Parliament. And for the fate of Charles I, he got his head cut off in the English Civil War. I'll say it right now. That's what happened to him. Hath only made kings more subtle, but not more just. So we're reluctant. Yeah, definitely. Wherefore, laying aside all national pride and prejudice in favour of modes of forms, the plain truth is that it's only owing to the constitution of the people, and not the constitution of the government, that crown is not as oppressive in England as in Turkey. Well, talk about the Ottoman Empire basically. Turkey didn't exist at this stage. But the Ottoman Empire was called Turkey as well. But it's not it's social name. Ottomans were very authoritarian. But it was very different. It's very secular as well at this time. It's not in the 19th century that it went the other way. And that's an issue for another day. An inquiry of the constitutional errors in the English form of government is this time highly necessary. For as we are never in a proper condition of doing justice to others, while we continue under the influence of some unique partiality, so neither are we capable of doing it ourselves while we remain fettered by any obscenable prejudice, and as a man who was attached to a prostitute, unfit to choose a judge or a wife, so any prepossession of favour of our own constitution of government was us concerning the good one. Yeah, that's a bit of, well, it's a matter of his time with that one. Let's edit that one. Right, I'm back in about a minute. Right, and really, yeah, drink, and then carry on. I really want to get some more some of you want lot on to talk about it. Yeah, my mailbag not messages was quite annoying. Right, so right, let's put myself on mute and then. Right, stop sharing for a minute because what I'm going to do is post a link. So if anyone wants to join, they can. I don't want to get any trolls or anything. The constitution of the people. Right, it's basically the same thing. It's basically the constitution of the people is having more clarity. Well, if you look at the constitution of the parliament, there's House of Lords and monarchy, which is obstruction to the people. And the question of the people is that the constitution for the people without these institutes of obstruction it. That's what basically was on about. Anyway, I put the link if anyone there wants to join. Anyway, right, I'm gonna share the screen again now. Right, on monarchy and hereditary succession, mankind being made original equals. Just struck the bomb there. We're all equal. We add our inequalities after birth because our social constructs. Right. In order of creation, the equal could not only be destroyed by some subsequent circumstance, distinctions of the rich and the poor. That's right. That's key. That's why I put emphasis on it. Right. It's basically bollocks. Social justice is what we are all human. Right. May, in a great measure, be accounted for, and that without some recourse to the harsh ill surrounding names of oppression and avarice. The oppression is often the consequence, but the seldom or never means of riches. Through avarice, one will preserve a man and be necessary poor. Sorry for Stuart pronouncing some of these words. This one wrote my English language look this one. I do Stuart. This one. It generally makes him too timorous to be wealthy. But there is another great distinction which we're nurturing and naturalists musically assigned. That is a distinction of men into kings and subjects. All this is key to everything about what medieval society was about. Absolutely. But that's what the monarchy did. By a divine supremacy. The right of kings. The God was at top, followed by angels, then followed by the Pope was the emissary of God on earth. Then we had the bishops, then we the king, the nobles, and all that blur. That's a basic structure of a society. And that used to justify absolutist monarchs. Male and female are distinction of nature, good and bad, distinction of heaven. But how a race of men came into the world so exalted, exalted, sorry, above the rest, and distinguishes like some new species. This is brilliant because they literally thought they were better than you, and they were born. Because you say like you were born gentle. Have you got you part of the bloodline? I mean, I alluded to this idea in my in the stream we do tap champs about conspiracies about material bloodline, but that's another day. Yeah, I'm getting off track of it, but anyway, it's worth inquiring into whether they are the means of happiness or misery to mankind. I'm certain they are that. um, uh, in the early ages of the world, according to scripture chronology, there were no kings. Brilliant. What a great phrase that would be. The consequence of which there were no wars. It was the pride of kings or rulers, the upper class, which threw mankind into confusion. Holland, without a king, enjoyed more peace for its last century than any of the monarchical governments in Europe. Well, this is brilliant, isn't it? Antiquity favours the same remark. The quiet and rural lives of the first patriarchs. Right. Talk, right. If you're not going to stand, they're the first people in charge of the church. So the patriarch in Rome, Antioch, Alexandria, Constantinople, Antioch. That's some examples where there were patriarchs. We don't really have them now since right. There was a split between the Roman Catholic and Greek Orthodox, and patriarchs are do the Orthodox Church now, not the Catholic. But that's but technically the Pope is a patriarch. But anyways, carry on. Have a happy something of them, which vanishes away. We come to history of Jewish royalty. Right, that's something for another day. Government by kings was introduced into the world by heathens, from whom the children of Israel copied the custom. It was a pop, populous invention the devil ever set foot for the promotion of idolatry. Heathens paid divine honours to deceased kings. And the Christian world hath improved on the plan of doing the same of the living ones. And imperious the title of Saint Mary applied to a worm. That's Bruce Smith there, who reminds of his splendour is cumbered into dust. Just talk about the influence between religions and kings, basically, and monarchs. So look, um, the king, most of them, are responsible for most of them, but actually, maybe not all, but most of them, certainly. But I could talk about other situations, religion, and other things, but generally it is the kings who declare wars. I'll say because one man, so greatly above the rest, can it be justified on the equal rights of nature? Neither it can be defended by the authority of Scripture or the will of the Almighty, as declared by Gideon and the prophet Samuel, especially disapproves of the government of king by kings. Right? We don't. It's really interesting, but I'm not going to talk about as much as other parts, but anyway, all anti-monarchical parts of Scripture miss moving glossed by monarchical governments. Right. Um, there have been parts of the Bible that have been erased from it. For, books like the book of I think, is it Enoch now. They're been edited and drafted for years. Changed the Bible. Uh, let's put that out there. That's always been the case. But they're undoubtedly met the attention of countries which have the governments let to form, rendered under Caesar, things which are Caesar's, is a scripture of doctrine of cause, but yet it is no support on monarchical government. For the Jews at a time which were not a king, and in the state of bondage to the Romans. So let's talk about a biblical period. Um, at the time when supposed Jesus were around. Um, I'm not going into this too much. Near the 3,000 years passed away on the Mosaic account of a creation, till the Jews under a national delusion requested a king. Till then, their form of government, except in exotic cases where the Almighty imposed, was a kind of republic, a judge of elders of kings of tribes. I don't know much about that, but it sounds interesting. Right? Probably to read up on ancient Israel history. Um, right. It does. Kings, they had none. It was held simple to acknowledge any being as a title but the Lord of hosts. And when a man seriously reflects on idolatrous homage which is paid to the persons of kings, he needs not wonder that the Almighty is ever jealous of his honour, and should not disabuse of a form of government which is so imperiously invades the, the prerogative of heaven. Micah is remarked in Scripture as the one of the sins of the Jews, for which the curse in reserve is denounced against them. But the history of transaction to attended to, the children of Israel being oppressed by the Midianites, being marched against them with small army and victory, though the divine imposition decided in his favour. Jews elate with success and attributing it to the generals of Gideon, proposed by making him king by saying, "Rule thou over us and thy son's son." This is basically saying how he thought how he was an example basically in biblical scripture in the history of Israel, basically. It's basically saying that how was this example and how monarchs come to be by people being successful in military campaigns. And that was a common theme in the ancient world actually. Anyway, here here was temptation to the full extent, not a kingdom only, but hereditary one. But Gideon and the purity of the souls replied, I will not rule over you, neither shall my son rule over you. The Lord shall rule over you. Right, that's right. That's something for another day with the religion. Um, I'm not going to do it now. I don't want to. It's interesting, nevertheless. Worthy not to be mocked. Gideon doth not decline honour, but neath the right to give it. Neither doth compliment them. It invented declarations of his thanks, but in the positive style of prophet charges them. With this faction to the proper sovereign king of heaven, about 130 years after this, performed the same error, which hankering the king, which Jews had for the idolatrous customs of the heathens, is something extremely unaccountable. But it was that laying hold of the misconduct of Samuel's two sons, who were entrusted with some second concerns, it came in abrupt and a clamorous man to Samuel, saying, Behold, thou art thy son, but walk in thy ways, and just as like the other nations. Yeah, I don't want to get too deep into the biblical stuff. I'm going to skip this actually because I do not want to get too deeply on the biblical things about behind this. Um, so I'll skip this. You can oh, I got links to this inside if you want to read it. But basically, it's telling about what he thought. Look at the Bible and biblical stories. Origin of monarchies, basically. Let's give an example of in ancient Israel for it. Interesting, actually, but um, right, let's carry on here. The evil, right, up here, right, oh, screw up a bit, right. Right, to the evil monarchy, we've had the hereditary succession, and as the first degradation of listening of ourselves, and to the second came the matter of right is an insult and imposition of posterity. For all men were originally made equals, but no one by birth could have the right to set up his own family in perpetual preference to all others for all ever. Though himself might deserve a degree of honours by his contemporaries, his descendants might be too far unworthy to inherit them. And one of the strongest natural proof of this folly is the hereditary right of king, that his nature disapproves it. Otherwise, she would not freely turn to ridicule as mankind as it asks for a line. Yeah, this is something you can extend this, saying the problem is the hereditary monarch is that the successors won't be as competent as opposed to the king and monarch. And this is a big issue, and like, is Charles will be as good as the Queen? Definitely not. And this can apply to inheriting wealth, actually. Inheriting wealth of business, it may be not as good as your successor. Which could cock off Donald Trump in this issue uh, about his inheriting his wealth from his rich family. And a loan of daughters or dad or some ridiculous thing like that. We couldn't extend that to quite a lot of issues. I look at this longer than go too much into religion. Secondly, no man first could possess any other public honours than were bestowed upon him. To give those honours could have no power to give away the right of posterity. But though they might say, choose you for our head, they could not, without manifest injustice to their children's sake, that your children's children shall reign over us forever. Very dangerous stuff. It happened because such an unwise, unjust, unnatural compact might perhaps end the next session, put them under agreement of a rogue or a fool. But most wise men in the private sentiments have ever treated hereditary right with contempt. Yet it is one of those evils which, when once established, is not easily removed. Many submit them from fear, others for superstition, and the more powerful and part shares with the king plunder of the rest. This is supporting the present race of kings of the world, who would have an honourable origin, whereas it's more probable that we could take off the dark covering antiquity and trace them in the first rise. We should find them of nothing better, a principal ruffian of some ruthless gang, with savage manners and preeminence, obtaining the title of chief among plunderers. Talk about natures of many tribal societies, where there's not the strongest warrior often became the leader. Right. And who, by increasing in power, extended his deputy predictions, overawed by the quiet and offensive purchase of the safety and frequent contributions, yet his electors have the idea of giving hereditary rights to descendants, because such a perpetual exclusion of themselves was incompatible with the free and unrestricted principles they possessed and lived by. Wherefore, hereditary succession in the early age of monarchy could not take place a matter of claim, but as something as casual and complementary, but as few and no records were extant in those days. Traditional history is stuffed with fables. Well, of course it is. And we could look at King Arthur and we'd heard that. Right. It was very easy, after a lapse of a few generations, to trump up some superstitious tale. Right. Correctly timed, like, to cram hereditary right down the throats of Bulgar. Right. It's talking about some early medieval kingdom called Bulgaria. Bulgars, in modern-day Russia. Perhaps the disorders which received a threat on the decrease of a leader, of a choice of a new one, for elections among ruffians could not be very orderly, but included many, at first a favour, hereditary pretensions, and which means happened, and have happened since, that first was submitted as a convenience, but afterwards claimed as a right. So it's basically what we're talking about the problems of monarchy. Right. Not much to add. I've probably explained. It was all like this one. So I'm going to look at the chat again. Yeah, but it's that's absolutely true. Going out to send henchmen in Parliament as opposed to monarchy. Absolutely. It's a bit of America is a bit of an anarchy at this point. It's yeah, Bruce, you're completely right on that one. Yeah, one of the big misses have agreed they kind of oppose the monarchy. Yes, that's true as well. But many of the absolute power in the monarchy has been handed to the prime minister. It's called royal prerogative. It's called that, but in reality, the royal families use it. It's the prime minister. England since conquest have known for some good monarchs. Well, we had some good ones. We got Elizabeth I was a great monarch, but groaned beneath much larger bad ones. Edward IV, maybe. Yet no man in his senses can say their claim under William the Conqueror was an honourable one. A French bastard landed in armed banditry and established him as King of England against the concept of natives. In plain terms, it was pretty rascal original. It certainly had a known divinity in it. But however, it seems to spend much time exposing the folly of hereditary right. Right, Henry VIII was promised the throne from Edward the Confessor. That's basically why he invaded. Well, why he could justify it, even though how to say it now, Whittamagaunt, which was a council, was an early parliament. The Whittamagaunt elected the king. Anglo-Saxon England had an elected monarchy. The nobility elected their king, and they didn't want the French king on the throne, which by the picked Howard Godwinson to be a king. Which is interesting. The previous monarch, Edward the Confessor, he had no children, so he actually referred his cousin, which was William the Conqueror. Well, we came to know William the Conqueror. It was William the Bastard then, to become on the throne. Quite interesting. Page 9 here. I think probably going to go through this at 2 parts. Maybe. I'll carry on to about 11. If any is weak as to believe it, then promiscuously worship and ask a lion and welcome. I shall not copy their humility and disturb their devotion. But yet I should be glad and ask how the supposed kings came at first. But just answer the question, talk about the ancient Israel. Right. But anyway, the question and myths for answers. Viz. Either a lot, by election, by succession. If the first king was taken by a lot, it established a president for the next, which excludes hereditary succession. So was by a lot, but yet the succession was not hereditary. Neither did it appear, or the transaction, the attention it never should. But if the first king of any country was by election, likewise, established a president for the next, or the say, the right of all future generations is taken away. By an act of the first electors, in their choice of not only a king, but a family of kings forever. So this is the argument against an elected monarchy, which basically can't let an individual so much power in one hand. Which is why the elected system when it first created the American Constitution, just tried to limit the power of the president with Congress, the House of Representatives, the Senate. So it's the Senate, the House of Representatives, and the Supreme Court, so the powers of the president, which is something was on about, because you can't have a leader that's basically a king with so much power. If you understand what I'm saying. A foreign national could. They could. There's nothing stopping a foreign national becoming monarch if the succession. No, Prince Philip, right, is technically a foreign national. No, he's not British actually. Well, he's a British citizen now, of course, but he was born to a British family. It was a Danish family in Greece. It doesn't sound very Danish though, does it? Right. Well, what, can I ask what I got now? Right. Have no parallel in out and other scripture to, original sin, which supposes that free will of all men, lost in Adam from such comparison, and it will admit no other. Hereditary succession that can derive no glory. As for Adam, all sin, as in the first election of all men obeyed, if mankind was subject to Satan. Bear with me on this bit nonsense. No, I was talking about serpent and Adam and Eve, right? And in the other sovereignty, as the innocence was lost in the first, so nonsense. This religious nonsense, right? And our authority in the last, as in both disable us from assuming the former state and privilege. But it's unanswerably follows as an original sin, heritage successful or parallels. This is a bit baking nonsense. Arguing that the anime, sorry, again, forbidden fruit led to all this. This honourable rank, inglorious connection, at the most subtle and surface cannot reduce a just to your smile. I see what he's saying. Oh, Tommy Robinson started a new line of monarchy. Um, that sounds very far fetched. Now, who's gonna? That's always be Jacob's mark. Sorry, that new line of monarchy. But anyway, on usurpation, no man will be so hard as to defend it, and that William the Conqueror was upstir, and it's a fact not to be contradicted. Plain truth is that, and continuity of the British monarchy, you bear looking into. But it's not so much the absurdity of evil, of hereditary succession, which concerns mankind. It did it serve us a good wise men who has secured the divine authority? No, it didn't at all. But as it opened a door to the foolish? Yes, it did. The wicked and improper? Yes, it did. And have in it the nature of oppression. Men who looked upon themselves, to born to reign, and others to obey, soon grew insolent and selected from the rest of mankind. Their minds are early poisoned by importance, and the world they act differs so materially from the world at large, and that they're built, that they have this opportunity of knowing their true interests. And when they succeed at government to the government, are figured to ignorance and unfit throughout the dominions. And of course, this is about people with heritage people successfully rule from the both thought being completely incompetent. What's true of many monarchs. You know, what happened to King Charles? And the reason why he went. That's something. I'll talk about the English Civil War here. Right. Another evil which tends to hereditary succession is that the throne is subject to be possessed by a minor at any age. That's key, actually. When an the king after the death of Henry VIII, called was it Edward the Sixth, I think. Yeah, he was the king was nine, and which time the regency acted as a cover of the king. So that's where the nobles basically run the country and fight for domination. Just like what happened in Toy Point now. Have every opportunity inducted to betray their trust. But the same national misfortune happens when the king is worn out with age and infirmity and enters the last stage of human weakness. But in both cases, the public was placed every miscreant who could tamper success with the follies of either age and infancy. Well, the Indian king can be influenced easily as well. And the most plausible idea which have ever been offended to heritage succession that preserves the nation from civil wars. Well, it doesn't. When this be true, it will be greatly, whereas the most barefaced falsity that ever imposed on mankind. The whole history of England astounds the fact 30 kings and 2 minors have reigned the distracted kingdom since the conquest, at which time there been including a revolution, no less than 8 civil wars and 19 rebellions. Therefore, instead of making peace, it makes against it. It destroys the very foundation of it. And here's a big example. It talks about the War of the Roses next part. The contest of monarchy and succession between the House of York and Lancaster. The England has seen above for many years. 12 pitched battles, besides series of sieges between Henry and Edward. Twice, Henry was prisoner to Edward, but in his turn was prisoner to Henry. So that's the balance of the War of the Roses. Yeah, that's a massive bloody war. Let's skip this because we're not halfway through it. It's been over an hour and a half. Yeah, so that's about the War of the Roses, but what details in there. It's not that important actually, but that's a long time. It showed the monarchy and succession have laid not this or that kingdom only, but the world of blood and ashes. Well, yes, wars of success to visit families, as we saw about the wars between York and Lancaster, the War of the Roses, like you mentioned above. Tis a form of government which the word God bears testimony against, and blood will attend it if we inquire into the business of a king. We shall find in some countries that they have none, and after softening away their lives without prejudice to themselves or to the advantage of the nation, withdraw from the scene, leave the successes, treasure some idle around. In absolute monarchies, the whole weight of business, instead of a military, lies in the king. It's going about Israel again, which is really interesting actually. So the children of Israel, in their request for a king, urge his plea that he may judge us, but not go out before us and fight our battles. But in countries where he is neither a judge or general, as in England, man will be puzzled to know his business. Yeah, like most needs pretend, but we have doubts of it. It's like 92% of money is basically numbers on a computer. Um, I don't have a clue what Jungle Lancaster is. I don't really, I don't have a clue. It's not in a direct succession, I think. Is that cousin of the Queen? Is that the Queen is that cousin or something? I don't know. Yeah. No, the wife of Harry is Duke of Sussex. Um, not no. Anyway, these interesting part. Yeah, neither any government approaches to a republic. Less business is there for a king. Well, that's obvious, isn't it? What does the Queen do? It is somewhat difficult to find a proper name for the government of England. Well, it's hard. So, constitutional monarchy is a great way to say it. Sir William Mendriff called it a republic. Well, is it? It's not a republic, is it? That's all. Not for that time. The monarchy and the House of Lords had a lot more power back then as well. But in its presidency, it's unworthy of that name. Certainly it is, even today, because of the influence of the crown. It's not so much an issue today, but maybe because we've got actually good monarchies get involved in things. But having the person in disposal have effectively slowed up the power. It's not the virtue. The House of Commons, the Republican part of the Constitution, the government of England is near as monarchical as that of France and Spain. Not really back then. They were very absolute monarchies when you got this Thomas Paine. Um, not really. Remember, Parliament was supreme at this time. So that's not really a strong argument, actually. Men fall out of their names without understanding them. For it is the Republican, not the monarchical part of the Constitution of England, that Englishmen glory in. It's both this, the liberty of choosing the House of Commons from their own body. It's easy to see when the Republican virtue fails. Slavery ensures. Well, we still have slavery at this period as well. Why is the Constitution of England so sickly? Because monarchy tap powers in the Republic and can't engross the Commons. It's not right. That's not that. This question here. That's not much problem today. It's a bit of a problem, not much. At this time, I think the House of Lords actually more problem. Right. In England, the king has more than the power to make war and give away places, which in plain terms impoverish a nation and set it together by the ears. A pretty business indeed for a man to allow 800,000 sterling a year and push it into a bargain of more worth of one honest man, a man to society, in the sight of God, in the kind of ruffians of the list. So it's interesting. It's a powerful case. If you could read at that time, which not many people in America did, most people lived in rural areas, it would have been very powerful. Leaders of the American Revolution were very upper middle class. I mean, George Washington owned plantations, basically, or tobacco plantations, where had slaves. Um, so, so, so the educated might see it's very powerful. So this state of the United States now. Actually, I'm going to skip this. Simply because it's the subject for another day. I'm not specifically. I'm talking about the theories behind Thomas Paine. I'm not going to much of the American Revolution today, but you probably can pause it and read it. This is basically what it calls for independent America. Talk about the situation that they're in. I don't want to talk about this part that much today. Next time, I'll probably, if you do a show in American Revolution, I'll go through this. But I just want to focus on the theoretical parts. Yeah, but that's also doesn't matter. So interesting. There's section 9 I want to look at. This is talk about the boat of America that basically govern itself with as you can see, he's talking about some arming America, arming for revolution there. Look at that. Cool. Not that I want to. Talk about the relationship of Britain here. It's not necessarily. Wait a minute. Something else that the bottom. Yeah. So let's talk about the prospect of getting assistance. Well, they did. The French. No, it was in the won the war because the French, and the Spanish. Right. This is the best talk about what should do. Right. Possess the subjects. We must in the eye for an issue because of the rebels. Yeah. I can't think now. To kind of read out. It is on slavery actually. What I'm looking at. Is it? Right. But some perhaps will say that, that after we made up with Britain, she will protect us, and it can be unwise to mean she will keep on a navy in the harbours for that purpose. Common sense will tell us the power of which and the subduers is for all of us improper to defend us. Our conquest may affect us on the dependence of friendship and ourselves. So long as persistence, you are cheating slavery. That's really interesting. You know, that's an interesting argument. Though, if your enemies just walking around here, saying that, well, I don't have a good chance of winning you. Good, you know, you talk about Americans with the military bases everywhere. You want to know the Americans with that today. Well, says something about actual slavery. I'm trying to remember like Yes, yes. I'm not talking about Slavs, but it's to say the rich or general slaves to fear, but submit courtly power, tempered typically to a spaniel. Right, it's not what I'm after actually. Is it, what am I gonna mix up here with another document? Yeah, I'm thinking of that man. Right, let's run it out now. Yeah, there was a few rubrics about. Um, we can look at well, we we look at things like Venice, Genoa, and lot of small republics like that that were about at that time, but they were not. Switzerland Switzerland was a republic, but they're not democratic. Right. So I'm not going into the details of the situation of America at the time too much. I think because we don't have time for that today. One, I think of another thing wrote about was Paine about slavery, which might get a little confused there. Back then, so interesting things about the origin of ri- um, monarchy and his arguments about monarchy, his ideological issues, which were very egalitarian, as you can see. But I will be going into the American Revolution part, probably in future. So I do a bit of overview. So well, look, we I think if people have more knowledge, they'll generally make better decisions. Yes, or if people knew everything about them, well, the Tories went up to. I think Corbyn would be in power by now, but there we go on that. So, any questions about Thomas Paine or common sense? I know I tried to go through it. It might be a lot confusing, especially when I come to my opinions on it, especially at the tough starts, which we didn't that much viewers. That's where the juicy parts were actually at um, of it. Just a really brief overview. Um, has to be quick because we can be dissecting this document for hours. So, actually, any questions on it on common sense and the influence of this document? Because our ideological premise was really strong and some was very secular. Well, yes, so when you teach you something, they're going to influence you somewhere, which is why you need to go and research these things yourself and get these ideas from multiple sources, which is people should do. Importantly, people don't have time for that. They have that work, they're busy with lives, which is why the people in power get away with so much madness. Um, in America, it, in American politics, it's very influential in how people see the world, particularly in America. Um, I say it's one of the most influential documents I ever wrote. Honestly, especially the parts about equality and nature of our society. Um, a lot of people take on for that, especially the biblical things, especially from the evangelicals in America. It's very influential amongst them. You know, the best group about is church, and that talk about it a lot. Um, but you need to understand this, because I would recommend it. If you want to look at the constitution of this country and look, I can improve it. This is a brilliant critique of it because this country works at the same way as it did before. We just have more democratic decisions, have more elections, and more votes. That's all this really difference. The monarch has a little bit less power, and so the House of Lords, but the system basically the same. Same system that Paine actively attacked. We have today, slightly reformed, slightly. The basis is still here. Yeah, it's one of the most even today it's well widely read and published. Like I've read before, like in 2006, it was the most after the Bible in America. It's the most distributed part of literature. It's very interesting. And you got more questions about it because I really hope we get someone to talk about it as well with some viewpoint or ideas. But I do another part of this. Yeah, might have not. It's people don't talk about it a lot in this country, even though Thomas Paine was British, was from England, from Norfolk, I think. Um, it's more talked about a lot in America, not over here. But it's a important document. If you look at the scripture, I put him up there with Marx on his influence. He wrote some other things like the rights of man, which was about the French Revolution. It was involved in the French Revolution too. Um, I mean, the other part I can look. Other part will be very interesting because we talk about history, then we talk about actually building the American system. But I want to talk about the theory. Now, this give a part about, but it got too deep in political stories, which I didn't really want to get into. But it's quite interesting, nevertheless. Right, if there's nothing else, I'll probably end it here. Um, because I plan to end it um about 11. So I'll say thank you to America and for this new left voice, which I think is probably still lurking. So thank you to everyone for watching. Uh, I'll say bye. So sometime next week, I'll probably do another part of this one. So thank you for listening and bye. Yeah, sorry that I just saw your comments because I was focusing on reading this. Anyway, bye.